comic enthusiasts! Welcome back to HC Comics, your gateway to the colorful and captivating world of comics. Today, we're embarking on the next exciting chapter of this comic series together. Wishing you all some relaxing moments as we dive into HC Comics adventure. Returning to the main developments of the story, in this episode, we start with the scene.
There's something I must confess to you, my queen. But even then, it was just a very small possibility out of several. It's a pity that you've already worked it out, because I wanted to surprise you. The day we get married will be the day you become the first empress of the Western Empire. My queen, do you not like this idea? Why the Western Kingdom didn't become an empire? People have always wondered, despite amassing enough power and wealth to do so.
A confession. He has something else he wants to confess at this point? I was one of those people. And I still don't know why.
That is a historic occasion. The moment a kingdom becomes an empire. That will go down as a pivotal moment, not only in the history of one nation, but in history books across the world. I am standing right at the heart of this historic event.
I'm going to become a good empress.
Cabinet meeting records of the Western Kingdom.
A journalist from the Blue Tribune is here. Your Majesty.
They're the third publication to be granted permission to report on the royal family. Shut, they're meeting me later than the other newspapers.
It's an honor to meet you, Your Majesty.
Is H.E. I'm Mondre. As I work for the Blue Tribune, I have permission to report on the royal family and bring their news to the people.
It's nice to meet you.
Your Majesty's abilities and reputation are well known even throughout the Western Kingdom. So Your Majesty will probably be a good queen.
However, I do have some concerns. The fact that Your Majesty has gained such a reputation as an empress also means
that you must have a lot of affection for the Eastern Empire.
This is a more difficult topic than I had anticipated.
This won't be a problem if this never happens, but
won't it put you in a difficult position if the Eastern Empire and the Western Kingdom end up competing over the same thing? Ario ni. 5. I think Lady Rashta was angry because I spoke out of turn. Really? I just not go? I'm supposed to go on leave starting from now. Lady Rashta will probably get even angrier if I go on leave after I made a mistake like that, right? You're going to get much busier in the future. You'll be busy preparing for the wedding, and things will become even more hectic on the day itself. Also, you'll be working even harder after the wedding since you'll have to serve the new empress. So you should go on leave now.
You took your time. How's life in the palace? When I recently saw the people there, they all looked healthy and well. What's wrong? Is it tough working there? Or the people WHO have worked there longer being rude to you?
That's not it, not at all. I just thought that maybe. I think Lady Rashta is mad at me. She is?
Why?
I said something to console her, but I think it made her more upset instead.
She's probably feeling sensitive because she has a lot on her plate. So just accept it and move on.
It's not like there's another alternative besides getting over it, anyway. That's true. It looks like you took a shine to Lady Rashta after meeting her in person.
Of course. She said she was on the commoners' side without hesitation.
She said it proudly, like she didn't care what the nobles thought of her. She's really amazing. The nobles probably look down on her. She may have recovered her status as a noblewoman, but she grew up as a commoner. Lady Rashta will become a symbol of hope for US commoners. There could be a slight possibility, or some chance, that this might be the case. Plus, that's what she announced she'll do.
Outside the palace.
Delise, are you listening to me? You think you know His Majesty better than his own wife, do you? Yeah, sure.
I'd expect no less from you. How many moves ahead are you?
Well,
though he has much to gain, he also has a lot to lose from this marriage. I had to pick a reason why he'd actively consider such losses. Won't it put you in a difficult position if the Eastern Empire and the Western Kingdom end up competing over the same thing?
At least, that's how it appears on the surface.
Thank you for agreeing to the interview, Your Majesty. If something like that really were to happen, I wouldn't be able to just ignore the situation.
Your Majesty, ladies in waiting WHO served you in the Eastern Empire. I have reached the capital. Laura, Countess Schubert. I'm so sorry I took so long to get here. I had difficulty convincing my parents to let me go. My arrival at the Imperial Palace was also delayed because I had to sort out a few things.
I meant the Royal Palace.
I'm just not used to saying that. You'll be able to call it the Imperial Palace soon enough. I'm glad you're here. Attention. Relax, let me introduce you to the ladies WHO are helping me here, Rose and MASTAS. I'm Her Majesty's temporary lady-in-waiting, Rose Quevel. I'm Laura of the Tallittal family from the Eastern Empire. I'm MASTAS Violet. I'm JAMENNE Rossi Joubert. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh my, thank you. But I can't. Rose and MASTAS have become good friends of mine. But I can't forget about the long period of time that I've spent with Laura and Countess Joubert, especially because they supported me during my darkest moments. I'm so glad. These reliable ladies have finally gathered in one place. Your Majesty, what's the matter? You have a guest I'm sure you'll be happy to see. Could it be Duchess Tuania? That sort of situation. I'm not Duchess Tuania any longer. That's right, I'm just not used to saying that. I used to address her then what do I? By her first name when we were alone, but if she married Viscount Lander. Please call me Nyen. I got sick of marriage. Then what about Viscount Lander? We're just lovers. We'll probably get married if I'm expecting. As we can't let the child be born out of wedlock. However, unless something like that happens, I want things to be the way they are now. I see. By the way, what have you been doing since we last met? No one knew where you were. I've been traveling everywhere. I visited many different countries. Wasn't it tiring? When I heard that Your Majesty had remarried. Anyway, judging by how you even used the press to find me, I assume there's something you'd like me to do for you, Your Majesty. Heinrich's brother passed away at a young age, so the former queen, Lady Krista, is also very young. It seemed like oh dear they don't it seems like she was very qualified to be a queen. Oh dear they don't have the position of Queen Dowager or anything similar in the Western Kingdom, do they? That's right. And on top of that, it seems that Lady Krista acted in place of the Queen before I arrived since Heinrey was unmarried. She must have a great deal of supporters. Is very linlikely. Even if that kind of scenario were to happen, I don't think I would be the one WHO would decide on the outcome. I am in need of your talents. I would like you to take control of the high society of this kingdom.
How are you this restless from not having seen her for one day, when you'll be seeing her for the rest of your life? We're newlyweds after all. Don't you spend time with me today since things ended up this way? Your Majesty, what is it? A group of knights have set up camp near the capital. However, the Transnational Order of Knights?
Are you talking about the Order of Knights managed by the WOL Alliance? They weren't dispatched by the Alliance, and they can't just enter a nation's capital as they please, so for now, it has been decided that they should wait outside the castle. It appears that they are keen to return the favor. It would be quite awkward if they had come here after finding out about the decrease in mages. But if that person is the leader...
There must be a sinister secret behind that innocent face. The Queen's primary role isn't dealing with foreign affairs. It is about shaping domestic policy. My plan to invite Grand Duke Kaufman and initiate international trade isn't an issue where I would have to decide between the two nations, either. The Eastern Empire may be disappointed afterwards. But I am simply pursuing a deal that fell through because SOVIESHU backed out, only this time from the Western Kingdom. Nobody can decline an invitation from the Empress to everlasting peace and stability, unless there are extenuating circumstances. Wow, that's amazing. A house made of confections. I've never seen such a CLITE castle.
I prepared this for all of you.
Things have been turbulent for a while, but we have stability now. It's time to usher in a new era.
I want to get along with you all and be on good terms with all of YOU. Conflict among nobles can cause trouble for the Emperor as well. Where did they get it from? Where did they get it from? Alan told me the baby he was raising was called Your Majesty. I'm looking forward to finding out what the baby will be named.
What does it matter what happened in the past? It's all water under the bridge, and my future is looking bright.
May I ask what is so amusing?
My apologies, Your Majesty. declared to the journalists that you would be an empress who'd be on the side of the common people. Yet here you are claiming you want to be close to the nobles now that you're on the throne. That's quite funny, isn't it?
I apologize for being the only one not to drink despite being your host. However, I must refrain from drinking for the sake of my future child. I don't understand what went wrong. I did everything you asked me to do. So why did I have to hear that kind of criticism? Did you lead me astray on purpose? Maybe you wanted to get me in trouble. My goodness, how do I put this? Did you think that everyone would be sympathetic towards you?
You had to choose between the nobles and the commoners. You weren't in a position to choose both.
But, you said I'd win over the commoners. You never said I'd make enemies out of the nobles. But, you said I'd win over the commoners. You never said I'd make enemies out of the nobles.
Did you notice the contrast between how people reacted to Queen Navier during the parade? And how they reacted to you? That reaction back then and what happened today were the consequences of the fact that you chose to side with the commoners. WHO make up most of the empire. That makes sense. Nothing is more important than the imperial baby being born in good health, after all. Absolutely. I'm sure the child will look radiant no matter which of their parents they take after.
Suppress, there's no need to worry so much. The nobles will change their minds because of Emperor Sovieshur, the child that will be born soon. They will.
Of course. That's right. The Duke was the only one. WHO sent me a present to celebrate the fact that I had become the Empress, and he's a true friend. WHO was by my side whenever things got tough for me.
I'm sorry. There's no way he'd get me in trouble by lying to me. I was feeling sensitive earlier because I was so surprised.
I understand.
Why don't you call me, my lady, anymore? You also used to be less formal when speaking to me in the past.
I can't address your majesty in such a manner. It's time to put some distance between us. I can't address your majesty in such a manner. It's time to put some distance between us. How can you say that when we're such good friends? It's natural for people to grow apart from the people around them when they better their station.
They're bound to look like an angel. Have you decided on a name yet, your majesty? No, don't be like that. I won't have anyone else I can trust if I lose you. You have His Majesty. I love His Majesty, but I don't trust him.
You trust me, more than you trust His Majesty?
Can you at least address me like an equal when it's just the two of us? Please? Then should I address you as, my lady, like I did before? No, call me by my name. You want me to do that now that you're the Empress, when I didn't even call you by your name in the past? Just when it's the two of us. Then it should be okay. Don't you agree?
I have to show him that I trust him more than ever before, so that we don't drift apart.
In that case, Rashta. Sure enough.
Your Majesty, you mean? It's as I said, I want to manage my own assets. But you've been managing my finances for me as I wasn't familiar with the ways of the palace. Thank you for your hard work. I've now become the Empress of a nation. I'm a full-fledged adult, and I've been studying a lot. As far as I know, it's customary for the Empress to be responsible for managing the imperial family's budget. Am I wrong? Your Majesty is correct.
However, your Majesty needs His Majesty's permission. Why? Majesty's orders take precedence over everything else. Managing money is very complicated, your Majesty. Majesty's orders take precedence over everything else. Managing money is very complicated, your Majesty. His Majesty wants you to enjoy your life while pregnant, without pushing yourself too hard. They're quicker than anyone else. When it comes to figuring out WHO, they should side with in order to come out ahead. I won't know if I'm pushing myself too hard or not unless I try. My apologies, your Majesty. I'm sure. His Majesty, I will name the baby. A name.
Viscount Lotteshu showed me a baby and said it died as soon as it was born.
It wasn't my baby, but it was definitely dead. Were you planning to come in through the balcony again?
No, I just came to speak to you here, my queen. Oh, are you telling me off? You're not a prince any longer. You should be more mindful of your actions. I don't mind being told off, my queen. As long as you're the one who's telling me off.
You're supposed to be taking care of state affairs at this time. Alarmed you're just saying that. What brings you here?
Is it because
You heard that a messenger from the Eastern Empire came by?
I thought that you may have been swayed? I did receive a letter, but I didn't send a response. Oh. I'm your wife now, HereLee. Pat, try not to worry yourself for no reason. My heart is beating really fast. Look at his red cheeks. I feel like strawberry jam will spill out if I bite into them.
I've never felt this way when looking at Sovieshu. My queen?
It's nothing.
Sovieshu was still unable to consider any other perspective but his own. There's nothing to worry about.
Willwall's Academy of Magic stood. Though I know other students may misbehave, I expected better from you, Grand Duke Kaufman. I am ashamed of my actions, sir. Given the way you carry yourself, I'd have expected you to be an upstanding citizen. And to think you have bought goods on the black market. Good grief, sigh. You give me such a headache. How long does it usually take for the effects of this type of potion to fade? I'd usually be fine as soon as I took an antidote, and even if I didn't, the effects would fade after a week. Have you tried a potion that is a blend of red poppies and black lilies? I took 4 bottles. How about a potion that is a blend of holly, olive, and marigolds? Then, I've tried that, too. Then, have you tried mixing the berries of a banyan tree with red carnation roots? I have, but that didn't work either. I'm not surprised to hear that, since you are a top graduate of this academy. So I'm sure you came to see me because you tried everything but nothing worked. When Sovieshu humiliated me and tried to bring me down for his own benefit. Is there no other way? To begin with, I can think of 3 potential reasons for your current affliction. 3. Since we need to understand the cause in order to find a cure. They may all be wrong. I'm just telling you what I've deduced, so OPTR, please tell me, sir. My first guess is that since you made it yourself, the potion may have been concocted in a way that makes it especially effective on you. This means that the I Love potion could only have worked this well on. What's your second idea? Recently, mages have been losing their magic, and the number of mages manifesting magical abilities has noticeably dwindled. That means our magic is currently linstable enough for that to happen. This may be a potential reason why the effects are not subsiding. Finally, it could be the case that even before you took the potion, you loved the person WHO is currently occupying your heart. No way, that can't be true, sir. There's someone from the Western Kingdom WHO is looking for the Grand Duke.
The Western Kingdom? That means HereLee offered to help me.
What do you mean? There's no response. Did Navier really read the entire letter? And there was nothing she told you to tell me? To convey. But she said she had nothing to say to your majesty. The misunderstanding must have been cleared up, there's no way. Yet she had nothing to say? That Viscount Lander and Duchess Tuania are staying in the Western Kingdom. I also noticed why. It appears Viscount Lander is the leader of the 5th Division of the Transnational Order of Knights. He volunteered to be Lady Navier's personal guard while staying in the Western Kingdom. You're the one WHO drove your wife away after getting the wrong idea. How can I be expected to resolve a situation that you placed yourself in? But your majesty, the person WHO told me that my wife was having a secret affair with another man.
Was none other than Lady Rashta. Sovieshu planned to change everything back to the way it was before in a year's time. But what about Rashta? Would she allow herself to be relieved of her crown without resistance? Knowing that she had simply been used to further Sovieshu's interests? I'd have to become the stepmother to the child Rashta gave birth to. If I became the empress again after Rashta stepped down, has Sovieshu ever even stopped to consider what that child would think of me? The person WHO told me that my wife was having a secret affair with another man. Then she acted like she was really embarrassed and told me she saw a couple embracing each other in one of those secret spots.
I was laughing because I thought she really was innocent. Then Rashta didn't say anything about your wife. She didn't name any names. But She had curly hair that was a reddish brown, and unique blue eyes. They weren't just blue, they were tinged with green and sparkled like precious stones. Oh, and
She was a noblewoman. Who had a beauty mark below her lips on the left side of her face. Was none other than Lady Rashta.
what I'm hearing here is that you made an assumption without even getting a name. And made a mess of things, is that? And made a mess of things. Is that right? I'm already upset about what's going on with Navier, and now this. I already knew that Rashta had a side that she kept hidden from me.
Since you can't survive in high society if you're too naive.
However, knowing she has that side to her is different than hearing it from someone else. Grand Duke Kaufman is said to be making his way to the Western Kingdom. Come to think of it, Viscount Lander, WHO was exiled for attacking Rashta, and the Duchess WHO followed him in the Western Kingdom, which is bad enough. But now the person WHO punched me is also going, too. Navier.
How many more times are you going to rub it in my face?
Open Lord Carl, when is Navier's wedding? Oh, they probably also intend to have a wedding quickly, so it'll likely be around the same time as your majesties. We have to bring it forward so that we can have our wedding first. It needs to happen that way. Pardon? Send an official invitation to the King of the Western Kingdom saying that it's imperative that he attends. Do you think he will? He'll come no matter what, even if it's to see Duke and Duchess Trovi. That day.
Your Majesty.
What do you think, Your Majesty? It's too fancy, although it does suit her more than I expected. I want something plain. Yes, Your Majesty. I want to wear this, Your Majesty.
We'll make a fine pair if I wear this and stand by your side. Please let me wear this, Your Majesty. Teary.
You can wear a fancy dress another time. You should go for something simple this time. There I will always be more parties. It's important to wear something special on our special day. Why are you blaming someone else? I want to be someone WHO belongs by Your Majesty's side. She is probably feeling quite sensitive right now. She may become depressed if I insist on overruling her. Very well. Do as you wish.
Your Majesty's always reading books. Really? It seems everyone has gotten closer quite quickly. Just as Lady Artina protected me in the Eastern Empire.
Viscount Lander's knights guard me in shifts here.
It seems everything has fallen into place at last. Your Majesty, Lady Krista's lady-in-waiting is here.
For your own mistake? How excited you looked when you spoke to Rashta that. That was because she asked me where people like to meet in secret in the palace.
I'm Marie, Your Majesty. I wish I could also send her some flowers that I grew myself, but as I don't have any flowers of my own yet.
Miss Rose, send Lady Krista a bouquet of acacias in Return. Do we really have to give her a gift in return? I doubt she gave it to you because she actually likes you. It's fine. Pretending that we're on good terms is much better than FELIDING. A few days after Krista's lady-in-waiting stopped by, Nien came by with Viscount Lander once every few days. To think that this innocent young man who'd do anything for his love is one of the commanders of the fearsome transnational order of knights. WHO could have imagined such a thing? She's the lady-in-waiting. WHO was with Krista when I had just arrived in the Western Kingdom.
It's quite interesting to see this side to him now that I know WHO he really is. Until next time, Your Majesty, take care. By now, I'm sure that SOVIESHU must have heard from Marquis Carl that I didn't draft a reply to his letter. Given how proud he is, he was probably enraged when he found out. He had an honest and innocent side to him when he was young. How did he turn into the person he is now? I had hoped that he would listen. Lady Krista would like to pass on this gift to congratulate you. After hearing that Your Majesty now has a personal division of knights. My queen? My queen? I'm sorry, my queen. Does he think the balcony doors are his private entrance because I keep letting him in? My queen. That's enough moping. Do get up. I'm sorry. I'm just used to meeting you out here. I'll only allow Queen to come through the balcony.
So I can still come over as queen? If you're confident that you can put some clothes on. Are you going to dress me yourself? What is this dirty-minded bird expecting? Hee hee. It was a joke, my queen. I apologize. GUI came by because I have something to tell you.
She grew these flowers herself. I have good news and some difficult news. The good news is,
We finally have a date for our wedding, my queen. Before long, we'll be inextricably bound to each other by marriage. We're already inextricably bound to each other by marriage. We made our vows before God when we got married before, but this time, we're going to announce in front of everyone that I am your husband and you are my wife.
it's no wonder I get confused when he keeps saying things like that. What's the difficult news?
Is it really bad news? Well, the Emperor of the Eastern Empire has sent US an invitation to his wedding. He wants US to attend. He said that you should come by yourself if I can't make it.
IAM, are you planning to attend? I'm sure HEINREY doesn't want me to go, though. I want to see my parents and my friends. I don't want to be unable to see the people I miss because I have to be mindful of HIM. Give her my thanks.
Then, I want to go with you, my queen. My parents are there, too.
Heinrich's parents are in the Eastern Empire?
I've never seen anyone it seemed like they really felt awkward around me. I've never seen anyone ACT like that around me before. This time I plan on making sure that they love me as their son-in-law. I'm sure they like you already. Tell me something. Whisper, when will I know that you love me as your husband?
She must be feeling uneasy because of Sir Lander's Knights. It's funny how she's sending Her Majesty a gift now after snubbing her all this time. Shall I throw it away? I'm just kidding.
When will I know that I love me as your husband?
Love him as my husband. He's already lovable enough as he is. Is he asking me to show him that I love him? SOVIESHU and I have never talked about such things, so I'm not sure.
Hee hee. It seems that my question caught you by surprise.
Ah?
Hi. You can give me your answer later. My queen.
The Remarried Empress.
The wind is nice and cool. It seems my face was feeling hot. I don't know if it's because Heinrich is younger than me. Or because he's a rake. He says sweet things like they're not a big deal. I don't hate that, but...
Knock, knock.
Your Majesty.
What do you have there?
We heard there was an orchard in the palace grounds, so we made our way there. I'll peel one for you right away.
I should tell my ladies in waiting the news, since they'll be coming with me. His Majesty was here a moment ago.
His Majesty? I don't think I saw him.
He left via the balcony. He told me two things. First, we have a date for our wedding.
Oh my.
Second, we have been invited to the Emperor of the Eastern Empire's wedding.
Oh.
We have decided to attend.
Well, it's probably a good idea to attend the wedding.
Knock, knock.
The head butler from the AMARES family is here to see you, Your Majesty.
Amares.
I am here on behalf of Miss MERLANEY, Your Majesty.
The head butler of the AMARES family.
Go on.
Miss MERLANEY would like to pass on her thanks for Your Majesty's invitation. She said she'll come to see you whenever you like if you set a time and date.
Tell her to visit me at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Your Majesty, I'm Merlane of the AMARES family. I'm happy that you asked me to visit.
She arrived half an hour early. I've wanted to meet you from the moment I heard about you.
I waited for Your Majesty to ask for me. Since the day I heard about your arrival.
That's what Nyan probably would have been like when she was young. Hey, I assume there's something that you want from me, since you were waiting for me to ask for you.
I think Your Majesty asked for me. Bekalize, I can help you integrate into high society in the Western Kingdom, is that right?
She's not just confident, she's bright as well.
I can certainly be of help to you. And I'm fine with that. However, can I ask what I get in return? For helping you? Excuse me?
Laura looks like she can't believe what she's just heard. What would you like?
Please make Lady Krista leave the palace. You may have heard about it already, but I had a big fight with Lady Krista in the past. His Majesty rebuked me afterwards. The nobles on Lady Krista's side have been harassing me and my friends ever since. I don't know if they're doing it under her orders or they're doing it on their own. But Lady Krista is a pivotal figure, so the group will likely disperse if she leaves. Lady Krista should have left the palace and gone to the palace in Compshire or somewhere else. When the previous king passed away. Moreover, the palace has a new queen. It should be a given that she vacates the palace, Your Majesty.
I'll think about it.
They didn't make a big scene, but it's true that high society became split after the news of their argument got out.
I see.
However, I don't think Miss Merlani is pushing so hard for this just because she is being harassed. Miss Merlany was the only child in her family. However, Marquis Amares adopted his nephew to be his successor. Miss Merlany has said that she wants to be the one to receive the title.
Interesting.
The adopted nephew is the third son of Duke Riverty. Who is a close ally of Lady Krista.
I see, so that's how they are linked.
Does Miss Merlany want to get rid of her stepbrother along with Lady Krista?
She may want to. She may have asked me to get rid of Krista, because she's too proud to say it directly.
What are you going to do, Your Majesty?
On the one hand, if I join forces with Merlany, I can easily get close to half of high society. But on the other hand,
I'll be making an enemy out of Krista.
As I told Masters when I received the flower basket. Pretending to be on good terms is preferable to feuding. What should I choose? I was busy thinking about what to do about my relationship with Krista. And managing the delegation that would attend Sophie Shu and Rashta's wedding. Before I knew it, the day we were to leave was upon us. I'm going to visit the nation I was born in. And ruled over as Empress, now as the queen of a different kingdom. It feels stranger than I expected.
The carriage is here, Your Majesty.
Very well. Where is Miss Masters? I haven't seen her for some time now.
I'm not sure. She said she needed to go somewhere, but noted that she would be right back. Your Majesty. Oh my, Your Majesty.
Speak of the devil.
Your Majesty, have you heard? You haven't, have you? Tell me you haven't.
What is it?
I got a message from my brother.
Her brother? Oh.
Haha, Your Majesty.
Is she talking about the loud and scary-looking knight?
My brother is also participating in the Knight's Tour, and it seems he's in the same group as Lord Corsair. I received a letter from him today. Miss Masters, none of the luggage is in the carriage. Oops.
Hi, let's get ready to leave first. And you can tell me about it during the journey. Remarried Empress.
The Knight's Tour is going smoothly this time as well. The locals give us a warm welcome wherever we go. And Lord Corsair in particular is very popular. As always, when the townspeople tell us about instances when they have been victims of wrongdoing, the knights reach a verdict after investigating. For the cases that Lord Corsair is in charge of, the guilty party gets a beating rather than a verdict after the investigation is concluded. In principle, his way of dispensing justice is violence and defies convention, but the citizens are actually really enjoying it. Rumors of his actions have rapidly spread to towns in the surrounding areas.
And as it is the first time such a thing has happened, everyone is delighted to welcome Lord Corsair.
I see.
It appears that Your Majesty's brother has a fierce personality. I can't wait to meet him.
It's not exactly what I had hoped for. But I'm glad my brother is proving to be popular among the citizens of the Western Kingdom. Now I just need to do my part. I want to reassure my parents and show them they have no need to worry. By letting them see how well I get along with HEINREY. I want to know if I'm no longer affected. By seeing RASHTA and SOVIESHU being affectionate with each other. And, this isn't something I can confide in another person about. But I want to show SOVIESHU that I'm doing just fine. Without him, maybe it's kind of childish.
SCREECHA.
My queen.
Heinrich, what's the matter?
I'd like to share your carriage, just the two of us. Would that be okay? Hee.
Clip clop, clip clop.
At first, it was quite a shock when I figured out that Heinrich is queen. But I think I'm a little used to the idea now. Feathers are like human clothes to a bird, aren't they? If I think of it that way.
Smile.
Can you transform into queen?
Right now?
I want to hold on to you.
Thud. Tap. Grin.
That's right, queen is still queen. He's very expressive and can express his emotions freely despite being a bird. Happiness is being with him alone. Crack, clunk, haze.
Are you okay, Your Majesty? I think You may need to step outside for a moment, Your Majesty. Are you okay, Your Majesty? You may need to step outside for a moment, Your Majesty. The carriage wheel has
turn.
You should transform back.
Your Majesty, sire?
They've been addressing HEINREY only and not me this whole time.
Place.
There's no need to worry too much, my queen.
Hehe.
Clunk.
Huh?
DA done. BA bump.
I'm sorry. No, I mean, I didn't do this on purpose.
I know, I understand, so, please get off.
Okay, all right.
Press.
Are you okay, Your Majesty? If you're having trouble, I can.
No, that's okay.
Slump.
Wait.
Please don't move. We've got a bit of a situation down there.
Down there. Bear with me for a moment.
Pardon?
Rustle. 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 Rustle.
Now your feet won't catch on my dress.
Step. Step. Blur.
Oh no.
Oh, the remarried empress. Clip clop.
Nothing of note happened afterwards, but that was enough to make being alone with HEINREY awkward again. Of course, we did try not to let it bother us. Those people were once my subjects. I wonder what they must be thinking as they see a carriage from the Western Kingdom carrying their former empress around the capital. Would they think I'm being shameless by showing my face here again after causing a stir?
Those people don't know the whole story. You don't have to be so concerned. That's right, even if you had accepted the divorce and chosen to live your life in seclusion, it's not like they would have done anything to help you.
Sigh.
I know, so don't worry. We decided to stay at the Trovi estate for a day. Before going to the palace of the Eastern Empire.
Father-in-law.
Hick. Ha ha ha.
Blah blah.
Why were you staring at me earlier?
Oops, it's because I've never seen you talk so much. So I was fascinated.
Smile. The next morning.
It seems that your parents still feel awkward around me.
They're still a little shy. It'll be fine after you meet them a few more times.
Oh.
Ting tang. Or.
Your ma.
Navier.
Navier.
Here. Click.
Hi.
Navier. I was wondering if he had bumped into something. But in fact, he had been pining for the former empress like that every day. Lady Rashta?
Oh, what do you think, your lordship? Do you think I'll stand out more than anyone else if I wear this to the wedding?
Of course. You always look radiant, no matter what you wear.
La.
She looks like she's in a good mood. So it should be fine if I pass on this news now, right? Come to think of it, I heard the Western Kingdom's delegation arrived yesterday. They're likely to enter the palace soon.
WHO did you say has arrived?
The delegation from the Western Kingdom.
Is the former empress here, too?
Yes.
Press.
Make this dress prettier than it is now. Add more jewelry, gemstones, and whatever else you have.
The remarried empress. South Palace of the Eastern Empire. Sophie Shu seemed to take our arrival in stride.
I appreciate you coming all this way. I thank the Western Kingdom for this goodwill.
Most people would think he was fine. But I know better. Sophie Shu always has that look on his face when he has to pretend that things are fine.
This is the accommodation that I carefully prepared for state guests. It feels strange to me despite being such a familiar sight. Back when I was overseeing how this place was to be decorated. I had no idea that I would end up staying here as a guest one day. You just never know what's going to happen next.
Your Majesty, I brought you some tea. Miss Laura and Countess Joubert left for their homes like you ordered them to. After checking that Your Majesty's things had been put away safely.
I see.
It feels a bit strange to be here with just the two of us when I've gotten used to there being 4 ladies in waiting. That's true.
I'm sure they feel their absence since they were already like family. Just like how close Krista's ladies in waiting are, too.
Knock.
Your Imperial Majesty, please excuse me. I should address you as Your Royal Highness. Countess Eliza.
Please have a seat. How have you been? How are my other former ladies in waiting doing?
We are all doing well. They just told me that they will come and visit Your Majesty as a group soon.
I'm glad to hear it.
How are you, Your Majesty? I did read some news about Your Majesty in the papers, but...
I'm doing well. Miss Rose and Miss Mastas are helping me out in many ways, and I am now reunited with my brother. What about King Heinrey? How is he?
I can't even tell you how close they are. It's delightful to see them together. It's as if she's remembering what she saw when the carriage wheel broke. It seems His Majesty treats your Majesty very well.
My queen? My queen, aren't you neglecting your husband too much? It's an honor to meet you, your majesty. I came by because I got jealous. Haha.
He's openly saying those embarrassing things again.
Hee hee.
What's wrong?
Glance. Touch.
I missed you, my queen.
Oh my.
My queen.
It would be better if he conducted himself with more dignity in front of other people since he's king of an entire nation now. I'll have to talk to him about this later when we're alone.
For a few days, starting with Countess Eliza's visit, my other former ladies-in-waiting and friends came to visit, and I had a good time.
Tomorrow's already the day of the wedding.
Indeed.
Do you remember that time? We once walked here together while talking about your birthday.
Nene. So we did.
And you tried to feed me bugs.
Pooh.
That's because I didn't know you were queen back then. Were you shocked?
Hee. I still flinch whenever I see a bug.
HMPH. You said back then, that queen doesn't eat bugs even if they're cooked. You're more of a scaredy cat than you look.
HMPH, aren't you scared of bugs?
Not at all.
Then if we run into a bug when we're out on a date at night, you can kill it. Look here, Snicker, I'll take care of any other creatures.
I'd rather not.
Step. Thud.
Even.
I'd like you to stay. This situation feels exactly the same as what happened back then. Hee hee, Your Majesty.
Step.
King Heinrey. I'd like to speak with Lady Navier in private.
My apologies, but I cannot leave my wife in the company of another man. Who appears to be angry. Even if it's a request from the Emperor.
Another man?
Lady Navier is my wife.
The Empress is. Arg. My wife, not your guide. Grit. Navier, there's something I want to talk to you about.
Go ahead.
I need to talk to you in private.
I want to know what else he has to say after all this time, but if I go with him now, I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but I need to stay with my husband at the moment, unless it's an urgent matter.
Navier.
Turn. Glance. Thud.
The Remarried Empress.
The following day was the day of Soviashu and Rashta's wedding.
They made the hall glitter by decorating it with elaborate magic instead of using gemstones, which looked like snowflakes that glisten in the air during winter. He put so much effort into the wedding preparations for Rashta. And yet he says he's only going to make her his empress for a year? How ridiculous.
Dang. 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 Dang.
Please stand for the arrival of the bride and groom.
Dang.
I wondered how unseemly her dress was because Countess Eliza took the trouble to send someone to me to tell me about it. Hi.
Dazzling. Pass.
She had worn the dress that had originally been prepared without taking the Countess's advice into account. She and His Majesty would have looked like they were competing to outdo each other no matter what her intentions were.
You're right. There's no way Sovieshuor the designer would have let Rashta dress like that, so Rashta must have insisted on it.
PFFT. PFFT. Hee hee.
I can't believe someone who looks that sweet and innocent is wearing something that flashy. She always have such extravagant tastes, Your Majesty?
The Rashta I know. Oud usually wore simple dresses in light and bright tones. That's why she stood out from the ostentatiously dressed nobles like a pretty, wild flower. High society was attracted to her refreshingly different look.
Do you, Emperor Sovieshutrovi Victor of the Eastern Empire, take Rashtaishka to be your wife?
I do.
Do you, Rashtaishka, take Sovieshutrovi Victor to be your husband?
I do.
Please sign here.
Scritch.
With this, I declare that a new imperial couple now graces the throne of the Eastern Empire.
Clap. Clay. Clap. Hurrah. Clap. Clap.
I hope. Today is the last day that those two will be happy.
Clack.
Change out of those clothes.
But
I was taught that I am to take part in the procession in my wedding dress.
they said I need the citizens to see me looking exactly as I did when I took my wedding vows.
Take off those accessories, at least. They look ridiculous.
Clench.
Ridiculous?
When a new imperial couple is announced in the Eastern Empire, there is a carriage procession led by the couple at the front, followed by foreign royalty. It's a tradition that was designed to show off to the world how much more powerful and majestic the Eastern Empire is compared to other nations. Hurrah! Clip-clop, clip-clop.
Long live Empress Rashta. Please look over here, Empress Rashta. Hurrah! Long live Emperor Sovieshu. Long live Empress Rashta.
Rashta's dress wasn't what was important. The Western Kingdom is the most powerful nation after the Eastern Empire, so I will appear right after Rashta. If the citizens of the Eastern Empire see me,
Squeeze.
Long live Emperor Sovieshu. Long live Empress Rashta.
Beam.
Empress Rashta. Hurrah!
Rashta's dress wasn't what was important. The Western Kingdom is the most powerful nation after the Eastern Empire, so I will appear right after Rashta. If the citizens of the Eastern Empire see me,
Empress Rashta, you look like an angel. Step long live Empress Rashta. Hum.
Clack.
hum,
Place.
Hee.
The Remarried Empress. At the reception hall in the evening.
Hee. Hi.
Lumi.
my heart aches more than I expected. After being shunned by people who I once held dear.
Your Majesty. Hi.
It's been a long time since I saw you last, and you still look as beautiful as ever. Fortunately, the Trovi family's influence remains undiminished, and I still have friends who want to maintain our friendship regardless of my nationality.
Ting tang. Whisper. Whisper.
The way people are looking at me now is nothing compared to the stony silence that greeted me during the procession.
My queen, let's dance.
He's also been given the cold shoulder because of me. I wonder if he's okay.
Oh my.
Place.
Don't worry about me, my queen. It makes my heart flutter just to be able to stand proudly by your side.
Hee.
May I have the next dance, Your Majesty?
Sure. It's unexpected, but he's Heinrich's friend, and he helped me and Heinrey escape when Sovieshu had the Trovi estate surrounded. Why did you ask me to dance?
A's.
Halt.
Well, Queen Navier,
Queen Navier,
oh dear.
may I have this dance?
It's an awkward situation. But I did refuse to talk to him in the garden. And it would probably be rude to reject his request to dance at his wedding.
Glance.
In the past, I was sad because he would ignore me and only take care of Rashta. Now the situation is reversed. I wonder what he wants to talk about that is worth drawing all this attention.
Squeeze.
What's your response?
Didn't your messenger tell you?
Was there something to pass on?
Didn't he tell you that I had nothing to say?
So, that wraps up this chapter, folks. I'm concluding the video right here. Stay tuned for the thrilling developments in the next episode. And don't forget to show your support with a like and subscribe, fueling my motivation to bring you even more captivating comic chapters in the future. Until next time, happy reading!